Let's check out my epic Nintendo DS gaming collection. The games in my Nintendo DS collection are pure gold to me, games I absolutely love. But just like with my PS Vita collection, I want to grow the Nintendo DS collection to something even more amazing, even greater. And that's why I wanted to go through my collection today, so then we can see where I'm starting from, see what games I currently have in the collection, kind of like I did with the PS Vita collection. I went through what I already had first, and then over the series of a year, I built that collection up to something amazing. I built it up to the PS Vita collection that I always wanted. And now it's time to do the same with the DS. Now my DS collection sits over here somewhere, on the end of all these amazing PS Vita games over here. So it's not really that big a collection at all. We've got a little bit up here as well. I've also got a load over here as well because you know I love Pokemon. But like I said, we've got some absolute gold in this collection. I mean, just check out Stellar Glow right there, and like Zelda Ocarina of Time 3D. And yes, they are 3DS games. I forgot to mention, this is going to cover my DS and my 3DS collection as well. I'm going to cover them all in the same episode. Now, I'm not entirely sure how to go about this because I got this couch in the way, but let's just try like this for a bit, okay? No particular order, just whatever I get. First off, check it out, Stellar Glow. Absolutely fantastic game. A game I needed to get into the collection for so long, quite pricey, but I'm so pleased it's in there. Zelda Ocarina of Time 3D, absolute classic. Now, I've not played a load of Zelda games, but this is one I definitely know I need to get around to. And like I always say, handheld gaming is the way I get to play games the most. So this is how I'm gonna experience Ocarina of Time 3D for the first time. Next up, let's go for Sonic Generations. Absolutely love this game. Played it on the live stream a while back. First time I played it was on the PC. Loved it so much, had to get it into the DS collection. 3DS game that you need there. We've got Virtue's Last Reward. Talked about this in the PS Vita game collection. And PS Vita games that you need in your collection as well. Fantastic game. Resident Evil Revelations. Heard so much about this. Not played this yet, but I absolutely love my Resident Evil games. Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright. I love my Professor Layton games. Love my Phoenix Wright games. So the mashup has got to be done. 999, 9 hours. 9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors. A fantastic game. You can get this on the PS Vita as well, but I got it on the DS. What did I say about Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney? Great game. This one is sealed. It's the US version, but it's sealed. Lost in Blue 2. Love these games. I started playing these when I started watching Lost quite a bit. Really like the idea of being lost on an island. Fantastic games. Survival games, really unique. If you've not played them, definitely worth getting. Duke Nukem Critical Mass, potentially the worst game you can get on the DS, and that's why I got this. I remember seeing about this in a YouTube video and it just sounded so terrible. It's like, I've got to have the worst game on the DS, surely. I don't know, have you played this, guys? What do you think about it? Best, worst? It's in the collection. That's better. Next up, we've got Zero Time Dilemma. And this one's sealed. Actually, I totally forgot this one was sealed. Another fantastic game in the Zero Escape trilogy. Following up, we've got Splinter Cell 3D. You know I love my stealth games, guys. And, you know, any stealth game in 3D, it's got to be better, right? Surely. Resident Evil The Mercenaries 3D. Another interesting Resident Evil game on the DS. And again, like, for me, the 3D is just so cool. I love the 3D aspects of the Nintendo 3DS. I don't know why they took it away. So any game that adds a bit of 3D into it, especially from my favorite franchises, it's just got to be in the collection. Need for Speed The Run. Now, I talk about this quite a bit. This is one of, if not my favorite racing game ever. It's so simple in the concept. You race across the US and it's quite a quick game, but it's just so captivating, so amazing. And I think I've got this on pretty much every console that's come out on. Castlevania Mirrors of Fate. You know, Castlevania, you can't really go wrong with Castlevania games, and they're always going to go up in price as well. And for me, I love the fact that the Castlevania game on the PS3 created by Hideo Kojima, this is tied into that. Absolutely love that. We've got Street Fighter 4 3D Edition. Pretty cheap game to get on the 3DS, but an absolutely fantastic one and a fantastic fighting game. I mean, it's Street Fighter and it's in 3D. What more can I say? Transformers Rise of the Dark Spark. Now, I didn't buy this one. I inherited this one from my brother-in-law. He's a lot younger than me. Awesome kid. Absolutely love him. And he's got great taste in video games. Nice one, Jack. Thanks for this. Next up, we've got another sealed game. I got these when Argos were just absolutely hemorrhaging 3DS games for pennies. So we've got a few of these in the collection now. We've got Yokai Watch, we've got Yokai Watch 2, and we've got Yokai Watch 2 Fleshy Souls. What was the other one? Yokai Watch 2 Bony Spirits. On top of that, we also have Harvest Moon The Lost Valley. This is another sealed one, another one from Argos. You see, this was such a great time, I'd say about 2 years ago, for 3DS games. So many of them were going for cheap as stores were just getting rid of them from the inventory. There's still a few you can find if you look around, but most of them are gone now. Another awesome game, Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. Now I found out about this one from Games of War. It sounds like such an amazing puzzle game. You can get this on, is it the Wii U? I think you can get it on as well. But for me, if it's handheld, I'm getting it handheld first. Fantastic game. Dylan's Dead Heat Breakers. Sealed again, not played this one, but it looks kind of fun. If you've played this, let me know, guys. Another sealed game, and that is Zelda Triforce Heroes. Now, like I said earlier with Ocarina of Time 3D, I've not played loads of Zelda games, but it's a series I really want to get into and I really want to experience. I've heard so much about it, I just want to be part of that. So Zelda Triforce Heroes, we've got it and it's sealed. Next up, we were saying about Professor Layton and Ace Attorney, and I absolutely love the Professor Layton games, and this is another fantastic game on the 3DS, Professor Layton and the Miracle Mask. Now this one's a guilty pleasure for me. I love Disney games and I absolutely love Cars, and I love Cars Disney games. So I've got Cars 2 on the 3DS. Now I remember playing this first on the PC and really enjoyed it. It's such a fun game, and that's what Disney games are. They're fun games. I absolutely love racing games as well, and this blends just so many of my favorite franchises and types of games all into one. A great guilty pleasure game. Now that's the 3DS collection done, but we are not done, guys. There is still more over here, and there's just absolutely stacks of awesome Nintendo DS games. As a matter of fact, I've actually got more games in this collection than I realized. Secret Files Tunguska, and if there's one thing the DS was great for, was mystery games, and I love mystery games, and this is an awesome one to have in the collection. Another Zelda game, and the first game I ever got for my DS while I was waiting for Pokemon to arrive, Legend of Zelda Phantom Hourglass. Now, I know this isn't one of the best in the series, but this is a game I really enjoyed, I really loved. And as a matter of fact, it's actually the first Zelda game I ever played. I've not completed it. Link's Awakening is gonna be the first Zelda game I complete, but this is the first Zelda game I ever played, and I absolutely love it. A lot of nostalgia for this game. I told you I love Disney games, and I told you I love Cars, and that's why we've got Cars as well on the Nintendo DS. So we got Cars 2 and Cars. I absolutely love these games, great guilty pleasures. Cracking on with the Disney games, and we've got Planes. It's from the world of Cars, so, you know, I had to get it. More Disney, and we've got Up. Up, what a film. If you didn't cry in the opening scenes of Up, then you haven't got a heart. But what a game as well. It's just fun. It's just so much fun, and that's what Disney games are. And that's what I love about handheld gaming as well. Picking up a great fun game that you can just get lost in anywhere you are, and this is brilliant for that. If you've watched the channel for any length of time, you know I love my Toy Story games, and we need a Toy Story 4 video game, or at least a Lego Toy Story game. But in the meantime, I've got Toy Story 3 on the DS as well. And this one is brilliant because this is different to the one that you can play on the PS3. This one is a new gaming experience, and a fantastic one again to have in your gaming collection. If you love Toy Story games and you've played most of them, but you haven't played this one, then fill the gap while we hope and wait for a Toy Story 4 video game. It's probably never going to happen, is it? But in the meantime, this is epic. I absolutely love the TV show, and so I've got a real thing about the video games, and that is Avatar. Avatar: The Last Airbender is such a fantastic series, and Aang is such an awesome character. He is perfect for video games. We mentioned Lost in Blue 2 before, and I've also got Lost in Blue. This was the one I played. This was the first one I played, and this is a fantastic game. Like I said, if you like those games where you've got to kind of build and you've got to hunt and you've got to try and survive, absolutely wonderful game. It's so unique. It's difficult, but it's so unique. If you want to get lost in an island, get Lost in Blue. We talked about Castlevania before, and you can't go wrong having Castlevania games in your collection. And Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow is an absolutely awesome Castlevania game. And it's true to the old style of gameplay as well, whereas maybe some of the newer ones have kind of taken away from that a little bit. This goes back to the old school, and I absolutely love the visuals in this game. It looks absolutely glorious, and a great one to get in your collection if you can find it cheap. Professor Layton, he just keeps popping up, doesn't he? And we've got Lost in Future, another classic Professor Layton game. Not to mention that, but we've also got Professor Layton's Spectre's Call. All these games are just, they follow the same formula, but that's because it's awesome and it's so much fun. A great game for kids and a great game for adults as well. And we're jumping straight back over to Professor Layton's BFF, Ace Attorney Phoenix Wright. The first game in the series, and the first game I played in this series as well. Such a unique, amazing game. I mean, you're playing as an attorney, figuring out all these cases. Such a fantastic idea, and still to this day, it gives me tingles just thinking about how awesome this game idea is. But Phoenix Wright isn't the only attorney in town. We've also got Miles Edgeworth. Now, which character you prefer is up to you. I prefer Phoenix Wright, but still, these are fantastic games. And these are ones that are actually going up in price, so I'm really glad I got these in the collection when I did. Now, you know I love stealth games, and you know I love James Bond, so we had to get 007 Bloodstone. That was the one, Bloodstone. We had to get 007 Bloodstone in the collection. Fantastic game. These games do play better on the home consoles, but still, to have it in the palm of your hand, amazing. 007 GoldenEye. Yeah, okay, it's not the same GoldenEye as the original N64, but it's still pretty damn good though. If Bond isn't quite your thing and you prefer fish and chips, then you can always go for James Bond. Classic game from the 16-bit generation. Can't go wrong getting this on your handheld. Broken Sword is one of my favorite point-and-click adventure games ever, and so to get Broken Sword on the DS, Shadow of the Templars, cannot go wrong. Again, these games are perfect for the DS. They play so well. It's that kind of Professor Layton, Ace Attorney, those mystery games. They all work so well. Point and click adventures are just fantastic on the DS, and Broken Sword Shadow of the Templars is an awesome one. If it's stealth, you know I've got to have it, and I had to complete my Tenchu collection. I'll go through that one day on the channel, but we've got Tenchu Dark Secret on the DS as well. I've not actually gotten around to playing this one yet, but it's one I really wanted to get in the collection, so I was so glad when I did. And another unique game, and the type of game that the DS is so famous for. It brought so many intriguing games to the series, and that is Trauma Center Under the Knife. Absolutely fantastic game. Such a great idea for a game on the DS with the stylus. It just works perfectly. Now, I don't want to go through picking out all of these games because I don't like to handle them too much. I want to look after them. These are my pride and joy, you know. I really want to look after these and make sure nothing happens to them. I've had some close calls, especially when Fire Red fell on the floor, so I don't want that happening again. But if you want to check out these in more detail, then you can check out the Pokemon Game Collection Challenge, where I collected all the mainline Pokemon games. But just to round off this whole collection, I couldn't finish without mentioning these, so quickly, let's go. We've got Pokemon Ranger, Pokemon Diamond version, Pokemon Pearl, Pokemon Platinum, Pokemon White version, Pokemon Black version, Pokemon White version 2, Pokemon Black version 2. We've got Pokemon X, Pokemon Y, Pokemon Omega Ruby, Pokemon Alpha Sapphire, Pokemon Sun, Pokemon Moon, Pokemon Ultra Moon, Pokemon Ultra Sun, and we've got Detective Pikachu. Oh yeah, and we got Pokemon Platinum version. This collection is going to grow as I start focusing on my DS and 3DS game collecting. But in the meantime, if you want to check out another awesome collection, then check out the PS Vita collection right here. While you do that, I'm going to put these games back on this shelf.